Hi, I'm Victoria and I'm a child psychiatrist, and I'm talking to you about step 3 of Parent Powers today, and especially I'll be talking about emotional skills. So if you want to know a bit more about that, stay tuned. The main reason I'm talking about emotional skills first when it comes to skills is because I do think this is one of the most important things that you can have yourself and then also pass on to your child. And something that they don't necessarily get to learn in other places. I know some schools are better than others at helping children learn emotional skills, but it's really something they learn a lot at home because they spend so much of their interaction and their emotional interaction with you that they will absolutely pick up on how you deal with emotions and do something very similar to what you do. So it is very important that you get it right yourself. So be open with yourself about whether you feel you have got this sorted. So the first thing is to really be able to name your emotions. It's a very vital step. Often we might feel that we're not okay, but actually naming that emotion can be very difficult. Is it anger or is it something else? It's really important to be able to say exactly what it is. Because if you do that for yourself and then you're able to do that for your child as well, they'll start to have a word for their emotion. So instead of showing you their emotion, they might be able to start saying what it is that they feel a bit more. And it makes it easier for you to have a shared language so that you can understand them more quickly and then you can do something about that to help them ameliorate the difficult emotions or be happy with them if it's a positive emotion. So naming happy emotions, positive emotions is also a really good thing. And when it comes to things like fear and excitement, it's also very important to have a differentiation of those things and possibly to tend towards a more positive reframe of something like fear, thinking about it more like excitement, using those words to help your child think more positively about some very normal feelings that we experience. Anticipation when we're doing something new, how it can be a bit scary but can also be a bit exciting. So helping them access the kind of complexity of different emotions is really important. Once you can name them, the next step is really understanding where they have come from. And again, this is very important because if you can explain in your own mind where your emotions come from, it can be much easier to deal with them, especially if they've come from some very basic things like you're just very tired and that makes you feel a bit more grumpy, or if you haven't eaten very much and therefore you just feel stressed, because actually those things are very easy to sort out. So it's important that you understand that about yourself because otherwise your child might wonder if you're angry with them or if it's them who've done something. And being able to explain to them, I'm just a bit tired, so I don't feel great, but it's okay, I'll have a good night's sleep tonight and I'll be okay tomorrow, is really important. And again, they learn that those sorts of things can affect them as well. So they can start to understand where their emotions come from and they can start to reflect on them and do things that will help them feel better. So if they're also a child that gets grumpy when they don't eat, they might start to notice that when they're hungry, they just need to eat something so they don't have the feeling of stress or, anger or whatever it is they get when they are hungry. So it's important for you to identify where your emotions come from because then what you can start to do is to help your child do that. So once you have mastered those emotional skills, you can start to teach your child and just go through them. Children experience a lot of skills every single day, a lot of emotions every single day. So it's a skill that you can practice every single day. So every single day you can check how they're feeling, think about where that's come from. You can notice if they're angry and just reflect on that and help them think through feelings. So it's something that's very live. You can practice every day. And if you're feeling confident with it yourself, it'll be very, very easy for you to help your child think through them. And that will become easier for them too. At first, when children start doing this, they'll probably say, I don't know, I have no idea. And you might have to prompt them with what it is they're feeling. You might have to guess a little bit by looking at them. You might have to guess a little bit about where it's come from. But when you start to prompt them and you do that regularly, they will get the hang of it and they will do it independently. And that's the whole point of it, is of course when they're little, they're not able to do that. But the idea is that you give them that skill so they become able to do that as they become adolescents, and certainly into adulthood they're equipped with the skills of recognising their emotions and being able to understand where they've come from and being able to express that and do something about them. So they're very important. So it'd be very wonderful to hear from you about what part of that you think you need to work on, whether you think you need to work on naming emotions and you're not so great at that, or perhaps you need to work on being able to understand where they have come from, or perhaps you're quite good at that and what you actually actually want to start doing is going through that with your child and doing that with them. So please let me know below in a comment. I would love to hear from you.